Hello, I'm glad you have tuned in or stumbled upon Thematic Nostalgia. This is show number 4, and I am your host. My name is Phil. Now, in case you missed the other shows, you can certainly go back and look at them. There are 3 posted online right now on YouTube. But this is show number 4, and this is a brand new theme. And the way this works is I will play 5 songs, and after the 5th song, hopefully you'll know what the theme is. They're very challenging, so if you don't know what the theme is, I wouldn't worry about it because they're really hard. Now, after the 5th song, I get into more recognizable and easily discernible songs from that same theme. So without further ado, I hope you will enjoy Thematic Nostalgia, show number 4. That was the first song. I know nobody's got it from one song. That was really hard. The second one is a vocal. It might be more of a hint as to what the theme is. It's from 1978. It's by Gene Cotton. And this song and the first song have something in common. Let's see what it is.
Television show, there was a Amos and Andy on the radio, and a man on a hill running round, don't you know, saying everybody here got to go, saying everybody here got to go. There were some people out in Hollywood, the words they had spoken, it was well understood. But 3,000 miles and for everyone's good, a man stood singing his song, dancing dancing around all the tombstones. He said that a man, if he's living, would rather be dead. And he opened the eyes to the typewriter's lead, and he said, now it won't be too long. There was a lights out television show. There was a Amos and Andy on the radio, and a man on a hill running round, don't you know, saying everybody here got to go. There was a lights out television show. There was a Amos and Andy on the radio, and a man on a hill running round, don't you know, saying everybody here got to go, saying everybody here got to go. The people, they gathered from miles all around, like a Sunday in Salem, they all could be found. And the lights all went out with a deafening sound as the church bells rang once again. The curtains were drawn and the prophets had cried when somebody screamed that the Joker had lied. But the damage was done and the saints crucified, and the truth will be lost till the end. There was a lights out television show. There was a Amos and Andy on the radio, and a man on a hill running round, don't you know, saying everybody here got to go. There was a lights out television show. There was a Amos and Andy on the radio, and a man on a hill running round, don't you know, saying everybody here got to go, saying everybody here got to go, saying everybody here got to go.
Okay, there's the second one. I doubt if you have the theme from those two. I mean, they're really hard, especially the first one. I know I wouldn't have it if I didn't know the answer, because I'm the one making up the game. But let's go ahead and do number 3. This third one is from a group called the Brass Ring. Now, you old-timers like me would probably remember the Brass Ring because they had a Benson and Hedges cigarette commercial called The Disadvantages of You, and that played pretty prominently back in those days. But this song is a different song, and this song that I'm about to play has something in common with the first two. So let's go ahead and do The Brass Ring. It is an instrumental, and let's start now. have the brass ring. I changed my shirt, as you can see. I think this orange is much more flattering to me than that lime green. I'm sure you must agree. But anyway, the brass ring. Do you remember going on carousels that had the brass ring? If you're old enough, I don't know, they might still have them. I haven't really checked them out. Well, we had one in Bethpage, Long Island, a place called Jolly Rogers. It was such a big deal to get the brass ring. You got a free ride. Yay. Anyway, let's continue. The next one we have is another instrumental. And this instrumental is from a marimba group called Chiapas, Marimba Chiapas. So let's go ahead and see how this song relates to the other three. Okay, that now takes us to the fifth and final song you will need to determine what is this theme. It hasn't been easy, but I think maybe this last one, which is not an instrumental, actually it's from a soundtrack from a movie back in the 1960s. Maybe this will put you over the edge. So without further ado, here is song number 5, Goodbye Columbus.
Got to say hello, it's a lucky day. Kiss the moon goodbye and be on our way. It's a lucky day 'cause I found you. Gonna build a new world around you. Touch the sun and run, it's a lucky day. Hello life, goodbye Columbus. I got a feeling that you're gonna hear from us. You're gonna know that we've taken the world by surprise. Got that look in our eyes. It's a lucky day. Just for changing, leaving the old world behind. Lucky day to walk in a new road, just to clear your mind. It's a day for starting a new way, telling the old one goodbye. Lucky day for getting above it. got that look in our eyes. It's a lucky day. Goodbye, Columbus. I got a feeling that you're gonna hear from us. You're gonna know that we've taken the world by surprise. Got that look in our eyes. It's a lucky day.
Okay, what's the theme? I'm putting up the 5 titles of the songs. Now, I admit to you, I was hard. I gave you 3 instrumentals. The first one was very obscure. You probably don't even know what it's called. You might know the second one because it was fairly popular back in the day. It's still a really hard theme to figure out from the 5 songs I gave you. I'm going to give you some easier songs following, but I just wanted to make it a little bit tough on you. We don't want it too easy, right? That's no fun. All right, so let's see what we have. The titles of these songs contain the name of a state capital. It doesn't mean that it's talking about a state capital, but it does have the name of a state capital within the title. So there you go. That's the theme, state capitals, and we're going to take off from right here. Thematic Nostalgia, show number 4, State Capitals. Next up, we have Bismarck, North Dakota, and we have a novelty song here, which is a takeoff on Johnny Horton's Sink the Bismarck from 1916. Now, Johnny Horton's song was a big hit, number 3 on the Billboard charts. Now, this spoof song by Homer and Jethro was really not a big hit, but it was a classic non-hot 100 song from the year 1960, following Johnny Horton's. For those of you from the 60s, you will remember that they had a lot of these kinds of songs. They even had songs where they would play snippets of songs inside a radio announcement, the invasion of Mars, Santa Claus, what have you. That was common in those days. And this is just one of those songs. You probably haven't heard this one for a while, but here it is. Jethro and Homer, Sink the Bismarck.
Way back in 1942 or maybe 43, I sailed with Captain Tuna, the chicken of the sea. We didn't sink the Bismarck, no matter what they say, for when we seen the German ships, we sailed the other way. We seen torpedoes coming, and we saw a periscope. We were full of fighting spirit, and our souls were full of hope. The captain yelled, "Now hear this!" He really flipped his lid. We haven't yet begun to fight, what's more, we never did. Oh, we didn't sink the Bismarck, and we didn't fight at all. We shared time to Norfolk, and we really had a ball. Chasing after women while our ship was overhauled, living it up on grapefruit juice and sick bay alcohol. Then they made me a frogman on the demolition team. I sunk a battleship, a cruiser, and a submarine. I blew up ammunition dumps, I did my best to please. I did it all before the Navy sent me overseas. Tony, our Italian cook, was a-settin' on the deck, and we were peeling taters, we must have peeled a peck. The captain yelled, "Hey, Tony, is that a U-boat I see? Tony says, it's not a my boat, it's a no, belong to me. Oh, we didn't sink the Bismarck and we didn't fight at all. We spent our time in Norfolk and we really had a ball. Chasing after women while our ship was overhauled, living it up on grapefruit juice and sick bay alcohol. And now the war is over and our story can be told about our captains fighting men, the young ones and the old. We stayed in San Francisco, away from the battle scenes. We spent our time on Treasure Island, fighting the Marines. Oh, we didn't sink the Bismarck and we didn't fight at all. We spent our time in Norfolk and we really had a ball. Chasing after women while our ship was overhauled, living it up on grapefruit juice and sick bay alcohol.
Our next song is by Frederick Anthony Picariello, Jr. But you don't know him by that name. You know him as Freddie Cannon. Freddie Cannon was a 1950s, 60s rock and roller, and he had a song about the capital of Florida. It was called Tallahassee Lassie. Here it is.
She got a hi-fi chassis, maybe looks a little sassy, but to me she's real classy. Yeah, my Tallahassee lassie, down in FLA. Well, she's romping to the drag, the cha-cha rag 'em up, stomping to the shag, rocks the bunny hop. Well, she dances to the bop, she dances to the stroll, she dances to the walk. Woo! She can rock and roll, she's my Tallahassee lassie. Yeah, my Tallahassee lassie. She's my Tallahassee lassie, down in FLA. Well, she comes from Tallahassee. She got a hi-fi chassis. Maybe looks a little sassy, but to me she's real classy. Yeah, my Tallahassee lassie, down in FLA. Well, she's romping to the drag, the cha-cha rag 'em up, stomping to the shag, rocks the bunny hop. Well, she dances to the bop, she dances to the stroll, she dances to the walk. Woo! She can rock and roll, she's my Tallahassee lassie. Yeah, my Tallahassee lassie. She's my Tallahassee lassie, down in FLA. Come on, baby. Come on, honey.
Okay, let's leave Florida and go up the coast quite a bit, all the way up to New England. Let's go into Boston. As you well know, Boston is the capital of Massachusetts. And I'm going to play for you a song called Band in Boston. I'm going to play a version by Merv Griffin. Merv Griffin recorded this song in January of 1961. It was a novelty song, but he wasn't the only one who put this song out. There were several others. The Viscounts put it out. Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs put it out. But we're going to play Merv's version. This did not quite make the top 100. It peaked at 101. It's what you call a bubbling under hit. Now, for those of you who are old enough to remember, Merv Griffin was primarily known as an American television host and a media mogul. He did a lot of game shows, actually. Jeopardy was one of his shows. The Wheel of Fortune was one of his shows. And Merv started out as a singer back in the 40s. I think 1944 was his first year of activity, as far as I know. But anyway, Merv Griffin did a lot of stuff. Records, television, mogul, entertainment. He was a do-everything kind of guy. So let's listen to Band in Boston by Merv Griffin, 1961.
My baby's got such a wild, wild walk.
Yeah, yeah.
Such a crazy little wiggle and a swing. When she takes a stroll, drivers lose control. It's become such a dangerous thing
That she was
banned in Boston, condemned in Cleveland, and banished from Baltimore. She is now taboo in Philly and St. Louis, and Chicago doesn't dig her anymore. She gets a fire burning in me, like no other girl that I've met. When she holds me tight and we kiss goodnight, I'm a-telling you the thoughts I get.
would sure be
Banned in Boston, condemned in Cleveland, and banished from Baltimore. There would be taboo in Philly and St. Louis, and Chicago wouldn't dig me anymore. Hey, all the girls are jealous of her, 'cause their fellas don't pay 'em no mind. Oh, they turn so green when she makes that scene. They had a petition signed
to have her
banned in Boston, condemned in Cleveland, and banished from Baltimore. She is now taboo in Philly and St. Louis, and Chicago doesn't dig her anymore.
Here's a song about the capital of Georgia, Atlanta. Atlanta's been in the news quite a bit recently, hasn't it? This being middle of June of 2020. Back to Georgia was a David Patton song, which was a breakout hit actually in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, not so much the Atlanta area. The song is called Back to Atlanta. But Vicki Britton was a Dallas-based singer-songwriter on Bell Records. Now here's a copy of that song, and it's by Vicki Britton and Milo Bump. Back to Atlanta.
Time heals wounds, is what they say. But January is drifted into May, and still I feel the pain. So I think I'll catch a train and get away. I'm going back to Atlanta. No, nothing left for me here. broke me down when he said goodbye. Won't you tell me, God, how long does it take for me to die? There's no use in hanging around. It just brings me further down. So goodbye. Disappear. I'm going back to Atlanta. Oh, Lord, and I'm going back to Atlanta. Somebody tell me how to get out of this place, baby.
You know, I've been thinking, since we're already here in Atlanta, let's take a little road trip. Let's go down south. You know, maybe we can jump on I-85 South and head on down maybe 2.5 hours or so and drive on into Montgomery. And of course, Montgomery is the capital of Alabama. We must have something about Montgomery. Let's see what we have.
I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown old. If dreams were thunder and lightning was desire, this old house would have burnt down at a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, well, I had me a cowboy. There weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. But that was a long time, and no matter how I tried, those years just flow by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of kitchen. I can hear them there buzzing. And I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning and come home in the evening and have nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson, I'm gonna mess around. Yeah, I'm going to Jackson, look out Jackson Town.
Well, go on down to Jackson. Go ahead and wreck your health. Go play your hand, you big talking man. Make a big fool of yourself. Yeah, go to Jackson. But go comb that hair.
I'm gonna snowball Jackson.
Go ahead and see if I care.
When I breeze into that city, people gonna stoop and bow. All them women gonna make me teach them what they don't know how. I'm going to Jackson. You turn loose of my coat, 'cause I'm going to Jackson.
Goodbye, that's all she wrote. They'll laugh at you in Jackson,
I doubt it.
and I'll be dancing on a pony keg. They'll lead you round that town like a scalded hound, with your tail tucked between your legs. Yeah, go to Jackson, you big talking man. And I'll be waiting there in Jackson, behind my J-Pan plan.
We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. Go to Jackson, and that's a natural fact. We're gone to Jackson, ain't never coming back. We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson.
Well, as you can see, I made a side trip to Mississippi since I was already in Alabama. You know, if I had any brains, I wouldn't have gone to Boston when I did, because I was right in the area. I could have covered all four at the same time, but that was all right. Now, I think we're going to have to leave the South. I'm going to go way, way up to Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, Lincoln is the capital of Nebraska, of course, but it is also the county seat of Lancaster County. Now, this city was founded in 1856 as the village of Lancaster on the wild salt marshes of what later became Lancaster County, but it was renamed after President Abraham Lincoln, and it became Nebraska's state capital in 1869. The song that I'm going to present now is actually not about the city, but it's about Abe Lincoln. But since Abe Lincoln is really the namesake of the capital of Nebraska, I'm going to go with Young Abe Lincoln by Don Cornell. Here it is.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Raised up in Kentucky in a cabin cold and bare, reading by the fireside, he got his larnin' there. Earned his keep by splitting logs, he grew so lean and strong, he could fight against a bully or could right a mighty wrong. Young Abe Lincoln loved all the people. Oh, what a wondrous man was he. What a plain, what a humble man was he. Then he went to Springfield, started practicing the law. Folks began to know his name from Maine to Arkansas. But when the people called him into politics, he went, 'cause he had a date with destiny to be the president. Young Abe Lincoln loved all the people. Oh, what a wondrous man was he. And his name will remain in memory. Glory, glory, hallelujah. When he was elected, or his country to preside, rich or poor to everyone, his door was open wide. And when he felt the sorrow of a nation in distress, what he said will live forever in the Gettysburg Address. Young Abe Lincoln loved all the people. Oh, what a wondrous man was he. What a kind, what an honest man was he. Then one dark and fateful night that history will recall, he went to the theater in his silk hat and a shawl, and there a shot was fired by a scoundrel known as Booth. And Abe Lincoln died because he stood for liberty and truth. Young Abe Lincoln loved all the people. Oh, what a wondrous man was he. Gave his life so that people could be free. Down in Washington there stands a monument today. People come to honor him from near and far away. And though it's nigh a century that he's been dead and gone, his truth goes marching on.
Well, I know I disappeared a time or two, and along the way I lost me and you. I needed a new town for my new start, selling VCRs in Arkansas at a Walmart. I haven't had a drink in 19 days. My eyes are clear and bright without that haze. I like the preacher from the Church of Christ. Sorry that I cried when I talked to you last night. I think I'm on a roll here in Little Rock. I'm solid as a stone, baby, wait and see. I got just one small problem here in Little Rock. Without you, baby, I'm not me. I don't know why I held it all inside. You must have thought I never even tried. You know your daddy told me when I left, My thoughts of you explode inside my head. And like a castle built upon the sand, I let love crumble in my hand. I think I'm on a roll here in Little Rock. I'm solid as a stone, baby, wait and see. I got just one small problem here in Little Rock. Without you, baby, I'm not me. Without you, baby, I'm not me. I think I'm on a roll here in Little Rock.
Well, I did it again. I flew into Lincoln, Nebraska, and now I have to come back because I don't know what's the matter with me. I just left off Little Rock, Arkansas, and I was just down south just a little while ago. That's all right. It's a good way to see the country. I don't mind. So next up is Madison. Madison is the capital of Wisconsin. It's not Milwaukee. It's not Green Bay. It's Madison. And Madison became the capital when Wisconsin became a state in 1848. It was already the territorial capital of Wisconsin, but now it is the actual capital. And it's named after our fourth president, James Madison. And James Madison and the song I'm about to play, which is called Madison Time, have nothing to do with each other. One's a president and one is a dance. But you know what? They're both Madison. And the theme of this show is songs named after presidents. It's not really named after the president, but it has the same name. So let's go with that. Madison Time is an album recorded by American jazz pianist Ray Bryant, and it was recorded in 1959 and 1960 for the Columbia label. The album was released after the success of the Madison dance craze, and the single, Madison Time, reached number 30 on the Billboard charts, and it also reached number 5 on the R&B charts. The single is also featured in the soundtrack to the 1988 film Hairspray. So here from 1960 is Madison Time by the Ray Bryant Combo.
It's Madison time. Hit it. You're looking good. A big, strong line. When I say hit it, I want you to go 2 up and 2 back with a big, strong turn and back to the Madison. Hit time. You're looking good. Now when I say hit it, I want you to go 2 up and 2 back, double cross, come out of it with the rifleman. Hit time. Face it. Now when I say hit it, I want the big strong M, erase it and back to the Madison. Hit it. Good. Now then, when I say hit it, it'll be tea time. Hit it. Big strong line. Now when I say hit it, I want the big, strong Cleveland box and back to the Madison. Now, when I say hit it, I want the big, strong basketball with the Wilt Chamberlain hook. Hit it. 2 points. Now, this time when I say hit it, I want the big, strong Jackie Gleason and back to the Madison. Hit it. And away we go. Now then when I say hit it, Birdland, till I say stop. Hit it. How about a little stiff leg there? You're looking good. Now when I say hit it, come out of the Birdland, back to the Madison. Hit it. Crazy. When I say hit it, go 2 up and 2 back, double cross and freeze. Hit it. And hold it right there.
Okay, it's time to end our trip around the country. I think I'm going to end our adventure in the sun and do a little beach music. This is the final song, and I'm going to Hawaii. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll come back.
Queen of the surfer girl. She's got stars in her eyes and knots on her knees now. Her crazy grass shift really sways in the breeze now. Riding down a heavy, you're lying in the sand. She's the hippest surfer girl in the land. And she's mine. Honolulu, she's mine. Honolulu, queen of the surfer girl. Well, she handles all the big ones every year at Minnehaha, and all the surfers know her from Rinca to Baja. When the beach is quiet and you know we're out of luck, we pray for surf while making out in our truck. Just me and Honolulu, me and Honolulu, queen of the surfer girls. Hey, she's mine, Honolulu, yeah, mine, Honolulu, queen of the surfer girls.